Everyone has a divine in their heart. And one thing that this program does most assuredly is it allows that presence, which is always there, to get progressively, almost invisibly larger. So that what happens is it takes the person over. So what happens is that person starts this journey being, in an analogy, 1% human or 1% divine and 99% human. And by the end, you're only 1% human and 99% divine. The whole thing is switched. And that transformation has huge components. And one of the components is the fact that your physiology has to change dramatically to support that style of function, that level of consciousness. For me, that came in the early on in the form of an experience, and I have been lucky to have a number of chapter starting or ending experiences. One of them was where I became acutely ill
Oh,
for a number of weeks, and my system started slowing down and stopping. And I thought I had cancer or something because my entire digestive system internally just slowed and then appeared to almost stop. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I was in constant pain. I couldn't stand or walk. I had no energy. I lost weight. I honestly thought I was going to die. But I was really wondering whether somehow this was going to be the end of my time here. I remember having a conversation one night. Coralee was asleep and quietly having a conversation saying, well, I'm a Bhagwan. I have no idea what's going on here. But if you want me to stay and you want me to do this work with you, you're going to have to end this because I've done everything I can and I have no answer here. And short of going to an oncologist and having them fill me with all kinds of chemicals, which just from my perspective just prolongs your life, doesn't really cure anything, then I went, short of doing that, I don't know what else to do. I was exhausted. I hadn't slept more than an hour a night for weeks. And so I fell asleep. The next day, I got a call, an unsolicited call from someone who I knew in the community who turned me on to someone. And when I went to see them, they, in without getting into the details, they completely healed me.
wow.
And the appointment was such that I didn't think I was going to get the appointment initially. They were all booked, and then appointments became available. And then there was another cancellation. So I had two appointments back to back with the same person on the same day. And when I left, I felt completely different. It was as if I had returned to the person I had forgotten that even existed after all that time of being so ill. And I sat in my car and I cried. And I called out to Amma Bhagwan and I said, you have saved me. You have saved me. You want me to do this work. So I'm going to rededicate my life to doing that. The reason I tell that story was because the fact it was a time when I realized that Amma and Bhagwan, even though um, how I perceive their presence in my life changes, it's not a static thing. I realized that they were there and they had protected me and were protecting me. And then I had called out them at the precise time when they were able to do exactly what they did do in taking care of me. And what that did for me was it gave me a sense of peace and security because I knew once and for all that that relationship that is part of being part of this program where you get progressively closer and closer and closer and then ultimately merge with the divine. Well, I realized that they were there and they would never ever go away. And then when I shared that, that was the biggest turning point in what I know now to be the immediate change in my consciousness before I got the gift. And when I mentioned the experience to our wonderful guide, Tejasaji in India, she just giggled and she said, "Good, you had your miracle." Which meant to me that she saw for many people that they needed that type of experience to let them understand the same thing I came to know, that in fact the divine with this program is with you and never, never goes away, whether you're able to perceive it all the time or not. One of your questions was how kind of miracles and how have your life changed? And for me, that was one of the principal things that changed the way we do, because Corey was present during that entire time. She knows what happened to me. And so as a result, it really did change everything.
Wow, that's amazing. How were you feeling then, Coralie? You must be so worried and
He didn't let on how
mm,
serious it was, really,
mm,
which is his MO
mhm,
to protect me. Any case, yeah. So it was amazing how the miracle of it all unfolding, and that's really the nature of our life, is just literally filled with one miracle after another. I mean,
mm,
just even our finding our house here 22 years ago, we realized looking back it was Amma Bhagwan finding this home for us so that we
mm,
could do our Zoom meditations and have this beautiful, almost like retreat like
mm,
place called home. Um, so many miracles, and it extends out to our family, like our children who one particular couple or several couples were struggling to get pregnant. They got
mm,
pregnant,
mm,
they got they all are thriving in their careers. They get job offers, they get relocations, they buy new homes. It's quite beautiful to see the miracles, extend out to our family, even though
mm,
only all four of them became Diksha givers back in the day. But now only one is active with the Diksha Yanya program.
mm,
But the others, you have an option of putting people in what's called the golden pot, where they
mm,
don't even know they're in the golden pot, but receive benefits. And
mm,
so the other three have received the benefits without even knowing that they're in
mm.
the golden pot.
Mom and dad are being a little sneaky.
So hopefully they don't watch this and find out.
As parents, we're allowed to be sneaky like this.
And we take full advantage of that,
Yes,
don't we?
absolutely. Absolutely.
It's so
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so great to hear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Carly.
Even little miracles, like every
Mm,
day we live on
mm,
this island, so we have to take a ferry off
mm,
island to go to the mainland. It's about an hour ferry ride, and
mm,
you put your car on and all that. But
mm,
it's like it's an ordeal to get a reservation, to wait for the ferry, to get on the ferry ride, get over to the mainland,
mm,
and there'll be times where we needed to change a reservation at the last minute. And so they put us in the overload line. So we're like, the car is moving forward to seeing if we're going to get on. And the man is standing there with the orange cone to put it, down, meaning
yeah.
no
Yes.
more. And it's always the orange cone goes in right behind our car, so we get on the ferry. So it's like we look at each other and like, thank you, I'm a Bhagwan,
Yeah.
it's
Mm,
so many miracles
mm,
for
mm,
our health, our family, just
mm,
Yeah.
everything.
mm. Yeah.
One of the interesting things is that because of the if the right word is fluidity,
Mm,
way our life flows now,
mm.
Yeah.
it's easy to see the hand of Amma in literally every aspect of our life every single day. So I can legitimately, honestly sit down every morning and review the previous day. Remember all of the places where things could have been decidedly different, and they weren't. Being in traffic, driving with all these cars, being in a store with people bustling, and needing to find something in the store and having it sort of almost appear in front of you.
Mm.
All of those sort of coincidences, which I now know are not coincidences at all. It's just the idea that our entire life is being guided by this progressively more visible hand of Amma and Bhagwan. So you get up in the morning and you think about what happened the previous day, and you realize that the entire day was in itself a miracle.
Yes.
And from how you felt to how you responded to circumstance, to the kind of things that happen in the world around you, to the connectedness you feel with the people that you'll never meet, to just all of those kind of sort of intangible but very real tangible feelings that make this kind of life just amazing. That's why I personally struggle, try to find a way to describe what this life has become to other people. Because if you forget what it was like to be unhappy, you forget what it was like to be sad. I remember those moments in my life, but I don't feel that way anymore. In fact, I don't remember how to feel that way anymore. And that's the nature of this transformation. It's a process that is unique to everyone. Yet when I see other people, right, and I get to know them, they have gone through the same kind of things that I have gone through in their own way. They've had moments of crisis and uncertainty. They've had existential or sort of unanswerable questions that haunted them. They've had situations with family and their health, right, that have gotten in the way. And each of them somehow got through that episode, got a greater understanding of what's going on with them, and found greater clarity and peace as a result, so that it becomes one series of lessons very carefully orchestrated by Amma and Bhagwan.